Hi everybody, Jo here. Thanks so much for popping in today. Now, I know I'm not normally here today, but I really wanted to come in and just thank you all for your continued support and your friendship. Honestly, I cannot believe how many subscribers we've got on here and what such a lovely crafty family we've got. Now, I know I don't get to reply on your comments all the time, and I'm really sorry about that. The last few months have just been so busy. We've had new releases, we've had the extravaganza, and to be honest, I've not been well. And I've just found it so tiring trying to get everything done. I've got grandma duties, Eric to look after. You know what it's like. I'm not complaining at all. I'm just saying I'm sorry that I don't get a chance to reply to each and every comment, but I do read them and they are important to me, so thank you. So I thought I'd just come in and have an extra crafty little play with you. So if you've got time, maybe put the kettle on, get yourself a cheeky snack, piece of cake maybe, biscuit. I'm really trying to be good. I'm trying to be as healthy as I can. After my recent health scare, it really bothered me, and so I'm doing all the things that I should, walking more, lots of fresh air, vitamin supplements, things to try and help boost my immune system, and I've even started drinking more water. So we shall see. Anyway, so far so good. But I know a lot of you do struggle with health issues, and as I say, my recent scare really made me realise what it's like. Honestly, I've never felt so poorly so quickly. So it's just really, I thought I'd come in and have a bit more of a play with you. And I just love it when we can just spend time doing just a piece of artwork, you know, a card that's not for anything specific, just for somebody. I love giving my friends cards just because it's them, you know, not because it's Christmas or Easter or birthday, but just because they are my friends and they are just them. You know, we love our friends, don't we? Regardless, it's a bit like family sometimes. Oh, but you could ring the next, couldn't you? But family's family. And, you know, it's like friends. They're almost family that you've chosen. And I love that. I am very lucky with the friends I've got. So this is the card I'm going to make. And the colour probably won't show up very much here, but we've got very subtle. We're tickling that stenciling all the way up there. And as you know, I love white space. And I've decorated my envelope as well. And as always, I started putting my designs on this corner because obviously we have larger stamps now in the UK. So by the time I put the stamp in the address, and if you notice, I've put my Posca all the way down this side and up that side. I just think it follows it beautifully. And obviously that's permanent ink. The Posca's permanent, so if it gets wet, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to start off. And I know quite a few of you make cards for charity. And I always think these type of cards, A, they sell well, but B, they're actually quite quick to make. So you could make quite a few. So I'm going to start, and don't judge me on my piece of copy paper. You know what I'm like. I always like to use the same one. And it's a 5.5 inch square, multifarious as always. And I'm just going to come in with my Sharpie and drag it towards me. So I'm using my kitchen roll just so I can hold the card down, and I find if I do that I've got less chance of it whizzing across, and I'm purposely pulling down towards me. And again, you know me, I do this at the beginning because if I was to do it at the end it would go wrong, and that's just me. And the stamp I've chosen to use, and I love stamping in this bottom right hand corner, is this lovely one, and it's Dandelions 2. And you can always use the acetate look, but I just think there's something lovely about this, and it's one I don't see used very often. And I do like to use stamps that not everybody else is using. And I'm using black ink, the Nocturne, so I'm just going to ink it up. And my ink pad needs re-inking, so I'm just going to put a bit more ink on than what I think I'll need. Got some on the block, so obviously I'm just wiping that off. So I'm going to pop that in this corner. Give it a good stamp. Let that ink soak in. Lovely. Now I'm just going to give that a wipe. And this would be great for batch card making, you know. And if Mr. Mojo's gone or you're feeling a bit under the weather, often something like this can just get it back. Now, I'm going to give that a blot, just so that I don't smudge it when I do my lovely stencil work. Now, when you're looking at stencils and colours, so I've gone for Sundance and Blue Atoll. And really, I went for these because I thought sort of Dandelions, I think yellow, so that's Sundance. But I love spring colours, and I thought when they blend together, they'll make sort of a green shade, obviously yellow and blue. So that's why I went for these two. And when it comes to stencils, I've got a funny mix here. I've gone for this lovely tall leaf mask, and I've teamed it up with the Flora. And if you're not sure how they're going to look together, my advice would be get one of your offcuts and just have a play. And I've got to be honest, as soon as I did that, I thought, yeah, A, I love the combination, but B, I'm going to keep that and I'm going to put that on a DL card. And I may even pop it that way and stamp. So I love that. So I'm going to put that up there. That's homework. And often what's great is if you get homework, that can just, if again Mr. Mojo's gone, just doing some homework can make you feel better. Now I'm just going to come in with a piece of low tack tape just for down here. I don't want my stenciling to go below that line. And first of all, I'm going to come in with the Sundance, but I'm actually going to take the lids off both to start off with. And I'm going to bring in my tall leaf. And I don't want it straight up, but I don't want it right along that way. I sort of want it. And again, I always position things so it's comfortable for me. So I'm happy with that. Just want to catch that edge there. And I'm going to use my large, my number 9 brush. And again, I'm just popping the ink in the lid. And I'm just going to start in the middle, adding that colour. And then as I've got less ink on, I'm just going to go towards the edge and just flick gently over the side. I just want the edge shape of this beautiful. If I'm not sure, look, I can lift it up. Yeah. Fabulous. I love that. I'm going to put the lid on that and then I don't put my brush in by mistake. Then we'll come in with Flora. And I love the way this sort of flows. We've used this a lot, haven't we? And I want to be mindful. And this top corner, I want to watch this edge. If I was to put it there when I got up here, I don't want an edge, you see. So I just want to check that goes over at the top. And I want a nice flow this way. So I'm just going to angle it a bit more. And the eye will just follow right. I'm happy with that. So once again, and I'm not going to colour the whole stencil. And where I want the darker blue over my flower look, I'm going to come in first. And just add that a few times to get that concentration. And then gradually, and this is very much a flick up into that corner. And if I want to have a look, you'll be amazed there's some colour there. Always check almost before you think you want to, because you'll be surprised how much colour there is. You know, and we can always keep adding it, but if you go too dark, you're stuck then. Oh, I like that. But I just want it a little bit deeper here. I'm just going to come in a few more times here. Yeah. Now, when I take that away, look, can you see? So we've got the colour here. And then it gradually goes away up to this corner, very light. And for me, that's enough. We don't want to over, you know, cook it with our ink. Right, so gently low tack tape off. If you're worried it's not low tack, remember, pop your heat tool on it and that'll just help. So black fine liner pen, and again, don't overthink it. I'm just going to add a little bit of couple of dots. Lines and dots are great. If you're not sure about your lines, add a couple of dots. You'd be surprised, it's much more forgiving. Now, Heartfelt Verses, love these. And I'm going for just for you because I'm thinking then that could cover a lot of different eventualities, couldn't it? So I may have to just put my head over. And I don't want it too far away, look. I want it quite close to my image, but just over that stenciled area. And then your sentiment is part of the design. And in the words of Sir Tim, it gives a cohesive design. It looks like it's supposed to be there. And then just some little finishing touches. You know what I'm like. This yellow Posca, the sparkle pen. And again, you can buy these individually now, which is fabulous. And just on the ends, look. We're just going to add a little bit of sparkle. Now, it might be you want to add some glitter, some stickles, because I'm not sure who I'm going to send it to, and not all my friends like glitter. I've got to be honest. So I'm just going to add a little bit, not overcook it. Oh, excuse me, little sneeze there. Oh dear. Let's hope it's a stray one. I'm just going to give that a bit of a shake and add some. Now, these are the little bit of the dandelion just floating off. So we'll add a few here. And again, just up here to keep that cohesive design. Again, I'm not going to overcook it. I'm just going to shake that one off. There we go. And so if I bring that closer, can you see? Just give the camera time to catch up. It sort of struggles a bit with the when you bring it close. But look at this. I love, you see how we've got the circles here and the lines. There's so much detail in that stenciling. And do you know what? That didn't take long, did it? And I think that is a lovely card. Oh, it's very dark here today. I'm afraid it's raining. I walked the grandchildren to school this morning. Luckily, it was dry. And I walked to the post office and it was dry. But I've got to be honest, it's throwing it down now. So it's very dark. So if it's a bit, looks almost a bit cloudy on my camera, it's not the camera, it's the fact that it's so dark here today. So I'm hoping you've enjoyed that, and I'm hoping it gives you some inspiration. Maybe if you're at a loose end, go and look for one of your stamps. I must admit, I had the wildflowers stamp out as well. Now that would work, look. So maybe choose one floral stamp, 2 stencils, a yellow and a blue, and give it a go. And I'd love you to share it. I'd love to see what you do. If you go on social media to reach out with Lavinia or Lavinia for you, or even just on my timeline. Do you know what? I love seeing what you do. Well, it's been lovely spending some time with you. Lovely having a brew with you and a catch up. I hope you're keeping well. You take care of yourselves. And honestly, thank you very much for being here. When I go on and I just see that you've watched or you've commented, and even if you don't have time to comment, just that you've watched, I really do appreciate it. Because do you know what? If nobody watched, I wouldn't come back. Well, I probably would, but I'd probably just talk to myself. Well, me and Eric, bless him, is here, fast asleep under my table. You know what he's like, snoring away. Anyway, you take care. Have a lovely weekend. I've got my first workshop at Lavinia for the year. So this Saturday. So ladies, those of you that are coming to join in with me, we've got some lovely stamping fun to have. Just made you a nice little tag each as well. So you take care, everybody. Love and hugs from me. See you again next week. Bye for now.